Education is one of the most powerful weapons which you can use to change the world, said Nelson Mandela. But today we're going to be discussing the issue with South Africa's education and how it affects the country. So, one of the key points is, how is the system failing? And can the system be influenced by money? Well, during a study, they found that it doesn't center around money because South Africa spends more on education than the US. This is a survey done in 2016. In 2016, South Africa spent 15% of South Africa's, which was, they spent 15% of their budget on education, which was about 213.7 billion rand. Regardless of this, South Africa's primary education system was rated 126th out of 138 countries, which is really bad. I don't want to talk about the secondary education because that was much worse. It was in the 130s. But is the system really that bad? South Africa's education system performs worse than poor nations, such as Zimbabwe. Regardless, the government is still building schools. And they're building schools, but their teachers, well, they tend to be more absent so that they can't provide the education. During a survey conducted of teachers teaching from grade 1 to 6, they taught maths. So of that, most of them failed their maths at that level, which, if you're gonna be a maths teacher, is kind of bad. But I do suppose if you managed to get a higher mark in like university or whatever, then it would be fine. But how are you gonna teach that when you failed it, you know? And like, also, let's take this into account. The fact that there's like 40 kids in a class at school, like at a government school in this country, and there's one teacher trying to teach every kid. Not every single one's going to listen, not everyone's going to cooperate, which also influences the way the education is produced, because there might be some kids, getting 90s and actually passing, but then there might be kids getting 20s, not understanding because they don't actually do the work, and this just reflects badly on the country. And also, talking about pass marks, when I was at my government school, the pass rate was 30%, which it is very low, and you can't expect there to be a high rate of education in this country if you're only getting a 30%, and that's you passed your matric with 30%. It's just not right. Like, why should you only not even study to get your 30% and then pass, when some people actually put time and effort in to pass? You should be doing the same, because just imagine in the future generations, they're going to be getting lower marks than that, and then they're going to be running the country, well, if they ever get there. And then the country it's already bad, not gonna lie, but if they start running the country, it's gonna be a lot worse, and the issues are gonna just get worse. The country's gonna fall. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of privileged. When we moved to Zambia, I felt as though the education there was much better. But like, when I came here, the teachers were a lot different. When I left here, the teachers were, I went to a private school, so obviously the teachers were different. And then I came here and I joined the government school, and it was much different. It went from being 8 kids in a class to being like 40. The teacher couldn't teach anyone. There was like 17-year-olds in grade 7, and I just don't understand. And that's the issue. But hopefully our children or our children's children learn from our mistakes. And yeah, you go to school to get an education, but it it shows you how to get the dots, but it doesn't show you how to connect them. If you if you caught a fish in school, but you didn't show how you caught it, it doesn't count. But in real life, if you caught a fish, you don't have to show how you caught it, so it doesn't matter. And guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Well, it's my first one in a while attempting to do something. I did a script for it, but I didn't really follow it. I just wrote down some key points. Let me know what you guys think of this type of video, and let me know if you enjoyed it or found it interesting by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you guys, hopefully, the next time I upload, which might be in 7 months. I don't know. Just